All right. So now that we all know that Coach Rulani Mokwena is now the new head coach of MC Alger, you understand? These are the Algerian League One champions. You understand what I'm saying? I'll just say there must be a couple of reasons why actually Coach Rulani decided to actually take this particular job offer. You know, despite the fact that he had offers from other, lucrative clubs, in Africa, as well as in, the Middle East, and which he did turn down, right? At the beginning, it should be said that eyebrows were raised, when Rulani Mokwena was actually announced as the new head coach of MC Alger. But there are a couple of reasons, perhaps maybe 3 reasons why the stars could actually be aligning for him. You know what I'm saying? Because Mokwena actually missed out on going to the FIFA Club World Cup twice in one season, as he was relieved of his duties at his former club Mamelodi Sundowns prior to the 2024-2025 campaign, right? And after that, he got an opportunity to coach Moroccan Giants, Wydad Casablanca, shortly thereafter. And, that was also another team that had qualified for the Club World Cup, but the Soweto native coach was also denied the opportunity to sit side by side with the likes of his role model, Pep Guardiola of Manchester City, and which was basically a few months before the tournament began, And although, the erudite tactician was actually linked with the return to Orlando Pirates, as well as clubs up north like Zamalek, even what's this other one called? Pyramids. He was also linked to Pyramids. He eventually decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna settle for MC Alger. He also rejected 2 offers from the Middle East, for whatever reasons, stating that, look, I want a challenge. I want to actually coach a club that is playing CAF Champions League football. So yes, MC Alger could be the right club for him, with the resources to actually support his talent. And bear in mind, MC Alger is a club that is actually owned by Sonatrach, which is an Algerian oil and gas company. So Algeria, remember, is a top 10 exporter in the entire world, when it comes to oil. And it's top 20 in terms of oil. And this is actually a huge oil and gas company that is actually owning this particular club that Coach Rulani Mokwena will be joining, right? So if you look at Africa, for instance, companies that actually make money, Sinotrack is actually number 1 by far. It's bigger than MTN, bigger than any other company on the African continent. So perhaps that actually says that, he's got the financial resources are there. The club has got the financial muscle to actually sign the top quality players that Coach Rulani Mokwena will actually need, just like his time at Mamelodi Sundowns. Therefore, in theory, they should have a big budget. You understand? And this is also a club with the most amount of supporters. They are by far the most popular club in Algeria. And they are the only club in Algeria on a week-to-week basis that can actually fill up the 5 July 1962 stadium with 67 supporters. That's also based to close to 70,000, if you say it. And there's also been a political will to ensure that Algeria has a club in the top 5 in Africa. I mean, obviously, Al Ahly, Esperance, Wydad Casablanca, Mamelodi Sundowns. Algeria also wants a club that is basically at that level. So, and remember, MC Alger have their own stadium. So therefore, I don't think there's any other club in Africa that actually has a stadium like MC Alger. You know what I'm saying? So that's actually necessary. So Coach Rulani, on the other hand, he will be actually looking to improve on MC Alger's CAF Champions League quarterfinal exit from last season. You understand? But one thing that is actually expected from him is for him to retain the Algerian League One title, which the club have already won it back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's one thing that's already expected. That's an objective. But good luck to Coach Rulani Mokwena. I wish him nothing but the best in Algeria, man. Hopefully this time he'll be much more successful, and hopefully he has learned so much from his previous stint with Wydad Casablanca, which was very most people will say it was unsuccessful, but I would be like, it was actually successful, because Wydad Casablanca finished number 6 by the time before he arrived, and now Wydad Casablanca finished number 3. I mean, you can't give credit to the new coach, because he only came when there was about 5 or 4 games to go till the season ends. I mean, it's Rulani who needs to be given the credit for that, but of course, because he's black, etc., we know about the politics in North Africa.